Africa has not benefited from the American policies. Number one, the green energy policy. The Africans must stop using coal. They must stop using fossil fuels. They must stop using their minerals. They must stop using before you can produce nuclear weapons. Another reason they don't want Burkina Faso to culture and cultivate their uranium, same with South Africa. It is because once you are able to capture uranium to produce it for your electricity, you can simply and quickly package it also into nuclear weapons. So any country that begins to tamper with uranium threatens the sovereignty of the other nations. But while you're on that, you will not be considered a superpower unless you have nuclear weapons. And uranium is the fuel that makes that happen. So the American politics for me has nothing to do with elections, except how does America constantly bully you? You want to make America great? Good for you. That we also want Africa to be great. And without your assistance, without your support, and most importantly, without your interference, we will make Africa great. I'm in Zimbabwe right now. I have 11 of my friends who are on sanctions as we speak right now from the American government. Yet America, 2 streets away from me, what the hell are you doing in Africa if you don't want to respect us as people? You come around and you put your silly little embassy here on our ground. And then within our own grounds, you put our own people on sanctions. Why? Because they are supposed to be supporting the government. Until you change the policies of America, every leader will behave exactly the same. You can even put a dog, I've said this before, you can put a dog to sit in the White House. America will continue because their systems are built on policies, and those policies are not friendly towards us. I thank you.
Definitely true on what Joshua MAPONGA said, that the election of US will never help the development of Africa, or any leader from the US or abroad the continent of Africa will help to develop the countries in Africa. And this is why, and he gave us an example what's happening in Western countries, especially in this Sahelian region, since they existed from ECOWAS. And I said this because at the same time, these Westerners told us that Africa will need to shift from where we are now to use the green energy, while we see each and every day are the ones who still exporting coal mines from our continents in different parties in Africa. They extracting these coals to their countries. This means that they are going to use this coal as a source of energy, while they keep telling us that Africa we need to shift to the green energy. This is not right once we think this in other ear. So at the same time, we heard the speech from the First Lady of Sierra Leone, Fatma Bio, said that Africa, we are not control our resources. This is true. And he gave us an example in Sierra Leone. And if you didn't listen the speech, this speech, let me keep just a little in order for you and I to get the full idea on what I'm speaking for.
Unfortunately, we are not given the free will to make decisions on our own mineral resources. There's always Big Brother who decides. And when you fight and say, no, we are not going to do this, they use the system to stop you. It's either they set you up with the opposition and they will be supporting the opposition against you from the back, or they cause unnecessary chaos in your country so that you are not able to even govern your own people. They will do things to make you not to be functionable. And of course, any country that don't have peace cannot develop. You have to have peace before you talk about development. I'll give you a simple example about Sierra Leone. Every mining company that is in Sierra Leone today is owned by a foreigner. Every mining company. If it's not the Chinese, it's the American, it's the British. Our electricity Bubuna is run by the British, and we still don't have light. We're looking for light, electricity. If you don't have electricity, how can you talk about education? How can you talk about health facility? How can you talk about improving the infrastructure of your country? We don't have electricity. Now, do we actually even have proper water, pipe-borne water, so that our kids will not be sick? We don't have those facilities. Why? With all the minerals we have, there is a cap you put. Before my husband became the president of Sierra Leone was benefiting, they said, what's the word? 0.000.1%. What is that? Basically, a company can take as much as $100 million out of the country in terms of minerals, and then they can just give the country $10,000. Now, what will $10,000 do for our health system? What does $10,000 do for our educational system? And these are the things I believe that are stopping Africa from progressing. We don't have a sense about us celebrating independence. I don't know why we celebrate independence, because we are not free. That is my own take. I'm not speaking also on behalf of the government of Sierra Leone, nor am I speaking on behalf of His Excellency the President. I am speaking as Fatima, as a citizen of a country who believes that things need to change.
So, as you heard the words from First Lady of Sierra Leone, so this is all to make that Africa awaken, Africans to be awakened. And what MAPONGA said, and just a little from Fatma Bio said, is true, because now is the time for Africa to own our resources, to own the means of production, and not allow for anyone to tell us what to use, how to use this and that. This is not true. So, brothers and sisters, this is what I want to share with you. If you have anything on this, please comment in the comment section, and we can achieve or share this thought together. Thank you.